It began with a knock, sharp and deliberate, the kind that carries an air of unwarranted authority. I opened the door to find Lisa, not just any Lisa, but the Lisa's self-appointed queen of the Willow Creek Homeowners Association. Sunglasses perched atop her head like a tiara. She clutched a clipboard as if it were a sacred decree. Her lips were pursed so tightly they seemed to protest her own existence. With a smile that screamed conquest, she announced, "Congratulations, your private barbecue is now a community event." I stood there dumbfounded. Was this a joke? Her expression said otherwise. She thrust a flyer into my hands, one I'd never seen before, one she'd clearly crafted and spread without my permission. I scanned it. Free neighborhood barbecue at 712 Maple Grove Lane, courtesy of your generous host. That host was me, and I'd never agreed to this. Lisa shrugged, as if my consent were irrelevant. "It's already in the HOA newsletter," she said, a fact I verified 5 minutes later when I called the HOA president, Mark, who was as clueless as I was. But Lisa didn't care. In her mind, her lie had already reshaped reality. This wasn't a misunderstanding, was a calculated hijacking of my Saturday, my smoker, and my carefully planned gathering. I'd spent weeks preparing, slow-marinated brisket, prime ribeye, sauces with a family secret kick. My brother was driving in from out of state. This was personal, intimate. Yet Lisa had declared my backyard public property, broadcasting it with posters by the community entrance, Instagram stories, and a group chat I wasn't even part of. The audacity was almost comical, but it was real, and it lit a fuse in me. If Lisa wanted to turn my private barbecue into her grand festival, I'd give her one she'd never forget. I drove to the wholesale market, bypassing the butcher and heading straight for produce. Onions, hundreds of pounds of them. White, yellow, red, sweet Vidalia, crate stacked, so high my truck groaned. The cashier raised an eyebrow, asking if I was feeding an army. "Something like that," I said. Back home, I fired up the smoker, not for meat, but for onions. I chopped, peeled, skewered, grilled, roasted. My backyard transformed into a pungent battlefield, the air thick with the sharp sting of caramelized chaos. By the time the first neighbors arrived, the scene was deceptively festive. Tables set, chairs arranged, a banner proclaiming welcome to Lisa's community barbecue. People strolled in, plates in hand, expecting burgers and ribs. Their smiles faded as they approached. No sizzling steaks, no smoky glaze, just onions. Mountains of them, charred, caramelized, skewered like trophies. The air was so heavy it brought tears to their eyes. A woman asked if the grill was still warming up. "This is it," I said. 300 pounds of onions. Lisa's special request. Nervous laughter followed, but I wasn't joking. Lisa arrived 15 minutes later, her wide-brimmed hat and floral dress screaming for attention. She froze when she saw the spread. Her smile vanished, her nose twitched. She tripped over a crate of shallots, catching herself on a table as the neighborhood watched. She tried to spin it, claiming the meat delivery was delayed, that I was slow-cooking something special. I said nothing, just slid another tray of grilled onions onto the table. Kids coughed, parents whispered, and Lisa's composure cracked. She pulled me aside, hissing, "You've humiliated me." I looked her in the eye. "You did that yourself." She demanded I fix it, order food, apologize. I pointed to the banner, "Lisa's Barbecue." Her words, not mine. She stormed off, heels sinking into the grass like daggers. Meanwhile, I handed out onion skewers like party favors. One guy asked if this was a vegan stunt. "Revenge recipe," I replied. By dusk, most had left, eyes watering, questions unanswered. A few neighbors stayed, drawn by the absurdity. We cracked open iced tea, played music, and laughed. Someone brought whiskey, toasting the barbecue no one will forget. I raised my glass. To Lisa, for giving me a reason to waste 300 onions. But the real kicker? A local reporter showed up, tipped off by Lisa's own PR stunt. I laid out everything: her flyer, her lies, her takeover. Neighbors backed me up. Lisa tried to interrupt, claiming it was a smear campaign, but the reporter wasn't buying it. His notepad reeked of onions by the time he left, And the next day's headline screamed, "Man grills 300 pounds of onions to expose HOA tyrant." The story exploded. Memes flooded social media. Lisa, red-eyed, waving away smoke, captioned tears for sale. My phone buzzed, non-stop texts from neighbors, a call from a journalist, even an HOA board member. Lisa, undeterred, taped a new flyer to my mailbox. Community Redemption Barbecue, real food this time. She was trying to erase me, to rewrite her failure as a triumph. I wasn't having it. I visited the HOA office, meeting with Tom, a retired principal with zero patience for drama. He sighed, already swamped with complaints about Lisa's unauthorized actions. "Write it all down," he said. I did, compiling a dossier, flyers, texts, photos, timelines. Tom raised an eyebrow. "You sure you're not a detective?" I scouted Lisa's event at the community center. She strutted around, ordering volunteers like a dictator. When she saw me, her face soured. "You're not allowed here," she snapped. I grinned. "Public property, Lisa. You don't own it." Then came the chaos. Her catering order, which I'd intercepted and donated to a shelter, never arrived. Her brother-in-law, the grill master, triggered the sprinklers, soaking burgers and buns. A kid tripped, sending condiments flying. I watched for 10 minutes, then left. Karma had shown up, and it was glorious. The story went viral. Reddit threads, news segments, even a morning show interview. I told them I didn't set out to be a hero just to save my Saturday. But Lisa's empire was crumbling. An anonymous tip led to a federal investigation into HOA finances. Turns out, Lisa had funneled thousands into fake vendors, including her sister's shell company. The audit was damning. Fraud, embezzlement, misuse of funds. An emergency HOA meeting, neighbors aired years of grievances. Hands shot up, stories poured out. Lisa's defense fell flat. The board suspended her, stripped her privileges. She left the meeting pale, silent, her reign over. Weeks later, at a community reformation event, I smoked brisket, not onions. Neighbors lined up, laughing, some wearing Team Onion shirts. Lisa watched from afar, alone, then vanished. Her house hit the market, unsold for months. The neighborhood breathed easier, conversations flowed, trust rebuilt. I never wanted to be the guy who took down an HOA tyrant, but sometimes justice smells like mesquite and defiance. What do you think? Was I too harsh? Or did Lisa get what she deserved? Should HOAs have less power, or are they still needed? Drop your thoughts below, hit that like button, and subscribe for more wild neighborhood tales.